Today we're going to be talking about cross-training in the accounting department. So I don't know what even made me think about this because it's been years, but when I was an auditor, I used to really push hard for this. Probably because maybe I was seeing some turnover at my clients, and that was causing a lot of problems in the accounting department. So, I really got on that kick, and I think it's important, and I'm not sure that everybody has the same opinion. We did do a poll earlier this week about this. I know that it's difficult, especially if you have a small staff, or maybe you just have one person in your accounting department, and how are you going to cross-train? And I think it's worth it, at least for the major functions. And if you only have one person in the accounting department, then maybe the boss can step in and learn some of those functions. It's not necessarily something that they have to do all the time, but if you are going to cross-train, it's not a bad idea to actually perform the other function once in a while, maybe once a month, once every couple months. So I think it's something worth considering. I have a comment here. A concern I've heard before is that all employees are afraid that whenever they're asked to train someone, it means the boss is going to be replacing them, and they get nervous. Oh, wait, there's more. And they get nervous and start job hunting. Yeah, I guess that is a concern. So what are my thoughts for selling that to the accounting team? Well, I guess one of the thoughts would be to say, look, hey, Bob, if something happens to you and let's say you're sick for a month and someone else has to do your job, wouldn't it be nice to come back knowing that it was done right? And, I guess really you just have to stress to your employees that that it's important for the organization and it's important for them. And of course, going back to last week, you could always blame the auditor and say that it was their fault that they're, saying this cross-training is necessary. So, I don't know, I guess that would be one suggestion. I would love to see any other suggestions in the chat as people watch the video and join in. I guess the other couple points that let me see if there's any other questions. Oh, Danielle, that fear has to do with culture. Blame the auditor. Okay, so yeah, so we were talking, Danielle was talking about culture. I understand that. I guess it is going to be up to management, but I think, it really is for the benefit of the organization and for the employee. I mean, how many times do you go on vacation and come back and are just dreading, going back into the office because there's so much work that nobody else did while you were gone? That's a point as well. I think when you're talking about cross-training, it's important to weigh the costs and benefits, and that's going to be on an organization by organization basis. And the last point that I wanted to make is, excuse me, got to get a little bit more of that coffee. Anyway, the last point that I want to make is maybe consider outsourcing. If you have a really small accounting department, you can outsource to be that backup. I know this is a little bit of a flip, but I worked for a software company for a number of years, and we actually developed and sold accounting software. And many times during the course of the 11 years that I was there, our clients would call on us to provide backup if somebody was off sick for an extended period of time. So, I know probably, all or many people that are going to be watching this are using something like QuickBooks, Xero maybe. Of course, you're not going to call QuickBooks, but you could call your accountant, or you could outsource. that backup function so that you have somebody available, because you're just going to be in a world of hurt if a key accounting person leaves due to illness or injury or something like that, or leaves just because they found another job. And now nobody knows how to do that. One last thought. Wait, I might have some other questions here. Let me see. Could blame the board of directors in a nonprofit. That's true. We have another comment, frame the subject from the point of view of the employee. Make sure the employee has all the tools they need to be successful. Okay, so I think that was all the questions. There's one more point that I wanted to make is if you use an outsourced accounting department in the first place, if that is your accounting department, make sure you check with them and make sure that they have more than one person that can fill a particular position. That's important, because there are people who can get sick or injured or wind up in the hospital.